What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of Stars and Garters. I am Katie Pettit, and so I have a pretty good setup to do a random FANDOM Friday because last night, me and my family and some of my friends went to see the new Ryan Reynolds movie, kids movie called If, and yeah, I thought that it would work out pretty well for me to just do a review on that. So yeah, I think I was definitely, I mean, from what I could tell, I was probably the one who liked it the most out of everyone, which, I mean, I like movies a lot more than most people, but still, I liked it a lot. I greatly enjoyed it. But so basically, if you haven't already seen it without spoilers, because we'll definitely get into spoilers, but without spoilers, it's basically about a little girl who discovers that imaginary friends are real and she tries to help retired imaginary friends find new kids. So it's a cute little premise, you know. I didn't know if it was going to be. I mean, I didn't really have expectations for it. I wasn't expecting it to be good. I wasn't expecting it to be bad or anything. I was just gonna be like, okay, I guess we'll see what happens with this one. Because, you know, Ryan Reynolds is funny, and, you know, I like him. John Krasinski is great as well. Um, like, you know, it had all the great people. The concept, I was kind of like, okay, why not? Not, like, super exciting, but I didn't have any base like expectations going into it or like hopes because I didn't really know what it was going to be about. So I came into it like pretty um like bare, I guess, just kind of, you know, whatever happens happens and I will like it or I will not like it. And, which is nice. It's nice to go into a movie like that. Like my dad, he usually doesn't even watch trailers because he wants to go in completely just okay, I don't know anything about this movie. We're just gonna see if we like it or if we don't. Yeah, it was pretty nice. Um, so yeah, my thoughts on it. I'll start with like thoughts about the general storyline. Um, this gave very like the story and I mean everything about it, but the story especially gave very similar vibes to Wonka because it was just like they sat down and they were like, hey, let's make a movie for people to enjoy, which seems like how they should think of every movie, but unfortunately, it seems like it is not most of the time. But this one, it just felt so. It was just so enjoyable all the way through. It was just like super fun, super like just pure and happy and just fun. Just it was just fun. Um, and it's really refreshing. Like again, Wonka. That's one of the things I love so much about Wonka was that it was just like let's make a fun movie, and this was like the same thing, same vibes. And it was a little heavier than Wonka, but like still, it was just like yeah, this is we're just gonna have a good time with this one, and I very much appreciated that. So the movie starts out with a little montage of the main little girl, like when she was even smaller, like doing a bunch of stuff, like telling stories and dressing up and being a little kid and stuff, and she's doing it with her mom and dad. And so I pretty much knew that the mom was not gonna make it. I could figure that out pretty fast. I was like, oh, she's talking about her mom because she had like a voiceover monologue and she was talking about her mom. I was like, yeah, she's dead. She did not make it. Um, I mean, it's still sad, but they didn't really go into much of it. So, but you know, it more affected the little girl like as a character and not really the plot, so to speak. The dad, however, I could not figure out. I didn't know until like the very moment it is finalized. I couldn't tell if he was gonna die or not. Like I when I first saw them, and it was the mom and the dad. I was like, oh, but both of the parents are dead. And then when the dad, when she was like, uh, when she like saw that the mom was dead, I was like, okay, maybe the dad lived. And then she goes to the dad, and the dad's like, I'm having surgery, I'm gonna be fine. I was like, he is dead. And then when they like finally got to the part where at near the end they like he he might be dying basically, I was like, yeah, he's not gonna make it. And then he turned out to be not dead. So I that was not cliched in any way. It was very um it was a surprise, and I liked that part of it. But yeah, most of the story is about the girl, and she like discovers these ifs, and I really liked the premise of her kind of being, even though uh Cal said like she's not really a chosen one or anything, the like premise of her being like special in some way, like she can see all of the ifs, so she can help all of the ifs, and like the way it the way she's like just different in this way was really fun, and the way it's like this specific kid who's so smart and like fun and creative, it worked really well, and it was really cute. It was just a fun little idea. It was a nice premise, and yeah, I liked that. And then so the whole thing kind of turns out to be they can't really find matches for old ifs because their match was their kid. So the girl, I can't remember her name at all, but the girl, she like decides that they need to try to reunite. I think she finds this out because she finds out that one of the ifs, Blossom, was her grandma's if. And so she's like, I think I should try to get you and my grandma back together. And she does, and it's really cool. So she's like, we should do this with all the ifs. And that was a great little premise. That made for some really fun moments. And that was sweet. Don't think too hard about it, because yes, adults are probably too boring and realistic for that. But you know what? For this movie, it was nice, and I liked it. Um, Not that all adults are super boring. That's not what I meant. That's not. I just never mind. Okay, so I really like that premise. And it was so cute. It was so fun. Um, and then I really liked how it came from her. Like she was reuniting all the ifs, and she's helping them, and they're helping her like be a kid and stuff, because she doesn't want to be a kid, because she's sad. She doesn't want to feel feelings like a kid anymore. And I really really liked how they ended it, though. Got to the end with her dad having that like little scare in the surgery where they didn't know if he was going to make it or not. And so like it came to her admitting that she was a kid, and I thought that was a really nice way to end it, because you know it's just it was a very nice scene, nice moment where she said that she was just a kid, because kids shouldn't try to act like adults. That annoys me. And it was really sweet, and it was really nice, just came brought it all together at the end. And then at the very end, right as the dad is all better, so they're moving out of the grandma's house and they're going somewhere away. And the girl realizes that Cal, Ryan Reynolds' character, was her if. So that one did not see it coming at all. Loved it. Was not expecting that at all. I couldn't even figure it out if that was what they were doing. Even when they showed the picture that said Calvin, I was like, was he an if? Because it didn't really make sense, because he just looked like a normal human. But yeah, he was a clown if. And they brought it all together, and I was like, huh, that's cute. So I didn't expect that at all. I liked it. If you think too hard about it, it's a little weird, but just don't. Just don't. Come on. Just let it be fun. Let it be nice. Let it be a nice moment. Um, but that makes sense though, and it makes things a little bit better, because there was kind of the, you know, I get it, because she's the one who can help the ifs, and he's in charge of like this if business. And so, but before we knew that he was an if, it was also kind of like you are like a 30-something-year-old man, and you're like kind of taking this small girl that you don't really know around and taking her on a bus and off to secret, you know. It was a little weird, but now it makes sense because he actually has a reason to care about her because he's her if. So that was overall very nice. And then the like ending, like the very end of the movie, all of the adults finding their old ifs was super nice. Um, we loved like all of those scenes were great. All of the reuniting scenes were very nice or funny or both. I was happy for the detective guy. He was wonderful. And then I absolutely loved the fact that Keith was her dad's if. That was great. It was really funny. But yeah, overall, just nice and fun. Literally, the whole movie just gave this is a nice, fun, chill, like, let's just go enjoy ourselves. Let's not have to worry about anything, just like let's just have a fun movie. Let's have a fun, funny, and cool, nice movie, you know? So yeah, plot was ended up being really sweet and really great and just enjoyable. Um, as for the characters, obviously, there's the ifs, but let's talk about the humans first because there's less of them. So the main girl is great. Love her. She's very what's the word? She's like a kind of she's very like smart and witty, and she's like quick. But she's also like fun and cute and little. So just drop something. She was real fun. I liked her a lot. She was adorable. And she seemed a lot older than 12. Not a lot older, maybe, but older. But she also did seem young. So it worked out really well. She kind of had like a more mature kind of personality, but also still very much a child. So I really, really liked her. Um, Ryan Reynolds' character, Cal, he was fun. He was Ryan Reynolds. I mean, he's actually not Ryan Reynolds, you know? Sometimes Ryan Reynolds just plays Ryan Reynolds, but he was actually kind of like grumpy and crotchety and um, like stuffy almost in the first part, which was really funny because like with all the stuff going around him. So his character was just funny all the way through, and then it ended up being really nice and sweet with him being her if. Obviously, that was a nice little moment. So his character was great. Um, I will say John Krasinski's character was also great. I've only seen him in The Office, which is crazy, because I know he's in a lot more stuff. But it's always fun. He's really good at playing. He's really good at doing like nice moments, like when they were in the hospital and he woke up. It was like, man, he's doing a really good job. Like, and I'm sure he has kids too, so that's probably why. But also, his character was just a solid dad type, which is nice. That doesn't always happen in movies. It was just like an actually genuinely good father. So he was really nice, really good character. And then, of course, all of the ifs were super fun, super lovable. Obviously, Blue, Steve Carell's if was, well, not Steve Carell's if. That's fun to think about. Anyway, not Steve Carell's if. The if that Steve Carell plays was obviously very cute and funny all the way throughout because he was kind of dumb, but just in the best way possible. Um, and then just you have all these random characters. My favorite was probably the detective dude. I still can't remember what his name was, which is I want to find out who played him, but I can't because I can't remember what he was called. But he was so funny. He was hilarious. I loved him every time. Should have gotten more screen time, and should have been like one of the main characters, but he wasn't. But every time he was there, hilarious. My favorite one. And then all of them were just super funny and super likable. um, and yeah, just lots of fun there. Um, I can't remember. I'm trying to think if there were any more specific ones, but it was mostly just Blue and Detective Guy. And I liked the mouse. I liked the mouse too. The mouse was fun. They were all funny though. So yeah. And then besides that, the more I put it here, technical stuff, because I guess what I mean by that is we had like plot and characters and everything about the movie, but like what I mean by technical stuff is like I guess the real stuff, because like the acting and the how the movie, the animation and whatnot. So the acting was obviously awesome. Like you had Ryan Reynolds and Steve Carell and John Krasinski at the, you know, in the main thing, like on the poster and stuff. So I wasn't going to worry about their acting. They were great. They were did all of their moments well. What I wasn't expecting was so much like voice acting talent going on. That was really interesting. Because I recognized a few voices. I mean, and obviously all the ifs that talk have to have voice actors, so I just wasn't thinking about it. But I didn't realize how many people that I knew, and like all that, like a bunch of actors that I love and think are so funny. I didn't even recognize their voices. One of the ones that most surprised me was the slime. So there's this slime if who is very emotionally unstable, and apparently he was played by Keegan Michael Key, and I love that. I like every time Keegan Michael Key voice acts, I can't tell immediately that it's him. Even like if you hadn't told me that he played Toad in the Mario movie, I probably wouldn't have been able to tell it was him, which is a really good thing. It says a lot about how good he is at voice acting. So love that. Then I didn't even recognize Maya Rudolph, which is I don't know if I've heard her voice act before. I probably have, but like I wasn't expecting it. She played I think a pink alligator was her thing. It was named Allie, so I assumed it was an alligator. I thought it was a dragon, but the name says alligator. And then for some reason George Clooney played an astronaut if who got like what, 2 lines? That was really funny to me. Like you have George Clooney, but he's not like one of the main ifs. No. He's not in the forefront. He's a random astronaut who says 2 things. And I didn't recognize it was George Clooney. I mean, I don't know as much about George Clooney as like these comedians that are on the list. But yeah, that was pretty surprising. I wasn't expecting that. On a similar vein, Matt Damon also played the Sunflower. I forgot his name, but yeah, why not? That's that's great. Good for him. Didn't recognize him either. I did recognize there were 2 that I did recognize. I recognized Aquafina almost immediately. Like she has a pretty distinct voice. It's pretty hard not to recognize her, and she did good. She had small roles again, but I recognized her, and it was a fun little hey. I know that voice. Of course, she did very good. And then I did again small role, but and I haven't actually looked it up and confirmed, but I'm like 99% sure that the guy, the banana thing that Cal tells to put them pants on is I'm pretty sure that was Bill Hader. And I love Bill Hader. He's super funny. I'm right in like watching his SNL era right now. So he's super funny. Big fan of Bill Hader. I was trying to ask my brother if he could tell that it was Bill Hader because he was sitting right behind me, but then he couldn't tell what I was saying. And then he like got a few more lines, and then he tapped on my shoulder. He was like, Bill Hader. And I was like, yeah, yep, yes, Bill Hader. Um, but yeah, all of the acting was awesome. Steve Carell is a really good voice actor, which I already know because of Despicable Me. But like, it's just interesting that like, I don't know. It's just I think of him more of like his face and like him being funny, but like for his actual live action stuff. But he's actually a really good voice actor, and it was really fun. He made Blue seem really fun and just cute and likable. Um, Also, I get really excited when Blue's person, Jeremy, was Bobby Moynihan, because Bobby Moynihan is also great. He's a very underrated SNL cast member. Um, and he's hilarious. He's very good. He deserves more recognition for what he does. He's hilarious, and he did great in this one. He wasn't there enough, but it wasn't. He got a really nice part, a really important part of the movie. Just it would have been awesome if there was more, because he's so funny. Aside from the acting and stuff, also just for the record, not that I pay the most attention to this. I mean, I care if it's bad, but when it's really good, I usually don't recognize it. But even I could tell that the animation of the ifs in this thing was crazy. It was so good, so smooth, just like it looked so right. It didn't look weird, or like it just looked exactly like it needed to, and it was so good. And I just like I watched it and I'm thinking, like, as they're filming, it must be really weird. It must, like, it's weird to, like, when there's this one scene where the girl is getting hugged by Blue, and then like a lady at the desk or whatever looks at her, and it looks really weird. And I feel like, is that what actually filming it was like? Just like kind of odd and awkward. But I mean, it was, and there were certain moments where, like, I would think that must have been really hard to film, considering there is no actual if right there. um and they just do it so well. It's like, especially Ryan Reynolds. There were some scenes, because he has to interact with the ifs a lot, and it's just, there were some scenes that was like that. It's just like, that is so smooth. Like, how do you do that when there's not actually anything there? That was just it. It's very impressive, and I don't understand how they do it. Um, but yeah, it looked great. Honestly, I I don't think there are many blend. I mean, obviously, some movies have to use like CGI and blend it in, but I'm saying, like, the more obvious, like, this movie is like half animated and half live action kind of thing. Um, and I don't think I've watched necessarily one of those that's like a point of it is to be that, not like, because like in Avengers they have to do some weird stuff with like the Hulk or whatever. But I'm saying, like, a movie that like is marketed as, like, it's half animated and half live action, and I just think that's so cool that they can pull it together and just make it look super smooth, and make it look like these ifs actually are in the real world, and it makes sense because the actors interact with them so well. And just, again, it's crazy how they do it. Just, I don't. There were just certain scenes where he has to, like, move his hand in like certain ways, or like touch the if, and it's just like, but there's no one there. Obviously, I'm sure they have ways and stuff. I'm just saying, it's still impressive, And no matter how many tricks they use, it's still an amount of talent and work. So I'm impressed. So yeah, overall, in all of it, I mean, honestly, there's like, it's five out of 5 stars right now for me. There's really nothing about it that is not making it 5 stars. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like an instant favorite or whatever. I would love to rewatch it. It was super fun. Maybe it was just that I saw it in the theaters, or I don't know. But like, as of right now, as of just seeing it, um, you know, it's 5 out of 5 right now. I really truly enjoyed it and just loved how it was just plain fun. It's hilarious, great story, acting is amazing, all of this stuff. Just, there's nothing really bad about it. The only thing is that um there was like some mild language throughout. I would describe it as, no like super dirty cuss words, but there was a few like mild words thrown scattered throughout, which is annoying. But, it was not a lot. it was just, it's, it's always annoying no matter how much it is. I'm just saying it's bearable, I guess. Um, it's like, it's about, it's like how much I hear in Walmart if I go by myself and go past the toys aisle. So it's not like, it's by no means normal Ryan Reynolds standards. Ryan Reynolds, did I say that right? I think I did. By no means his normal. He had an enormous amount of self-control, and I think he should do that for all his movies. Ryan, do better. This was an improvement. Still not great. I mean, still not preferable, but do better. But yeah, it's annoying, but it's bearable for this one. It's not. It's no R-rated or anything. So yeah, overall, great. Really, really enjoyed it. There are still good movies, you guys. They haven't died. Some people are understanding, are remembering, are just they're coming back. Some of them are giving me hope for movies like this. So, yeah, I've got hope for the Garfield movie. A little bit of it. I have no idea what it's going to be like. Seen zero trailers or anything. But hey, it's got Chris Pratt and Samuel L. Jackson. That worked. The big names worked for this one, so why can't they work for that one? And then, movies are not dead, I don't think. They're coming back. Maybe. Hopefully. We'll see. So, yeah. That's gonna be it for this one. Let me know if you have. Let me know if you have seen If, and if you have, well, don't just say yes, I've seen If. Tell me what would you rate it out of 5 stars or out of 10 stars or great or whatever you want to do. Just tell me what did you think and why. Don't just be like 5 stars, 2 stars, B plus. Be like, well, I thought that the banana was great, but the rest of it was stupid or whatever. I don't know. Explain yourself, but definitely just tell me what you thought. And make sure to follow, like, subscribe, share, all of the things. Do the things. I keep smacking the microphone. Do all of the normal things that I tell you to. Thank you for watching, listening, doing whatever, and I will see you guys next week.